He's the most followed man on earth. More than Messi, more than any celebrity, politician, or world leader. He's scored more goals than anyone in football history. He's won league titles in England, Spain, and Italy. He's lifted the Champions League 5 times. He's broken almost every record the game has to offer. But somehow, Cristiano Ronaldo has never won the World Cup. And if you think that's just a coincidence, think again. Because this isn't just about bad luck, or tactics, or age. This is about something bigger, something deeper, something controlled. What if I told you there are people, powerful people, who shape the outcome of global football from the shadows? People who decide who gets the glory and who gets pushed aside. People who protect their chosen ones and bury those who don't follow the rules. Cristiano Ronaldo? He never followed the rules. He didn't play their game. He didn't smile for their cameras. He didn't drink their products. He didn't live the lifestyle they sell. He promoted hard work, faith, discipline, family, real values, not marketable ones. And the truth is, that made him dangerous. Because Ronaldo wasn't built by the system, he built himself. And that's exactly why the system rejected him. So when the biggest prize of all, the World Cup, was up for grabs, the stage was set. But not for him, because the outcome, in some ways, was already decided. They gave it to the one they chose, the one who fits the image, the one who plays along. A new boy crows, it was a final standard, impressive East. They work. The years of no nowaries were dunding. This is not a theory. This is the story of how football's most powerful forces, from global federations to billion-dollar sponsors to quiet, hidden hands, made sure Cristiano Ronaldo never touched the one trophy that would have made him truly untouchable. And whether you believe in the Illuminati or not, by the end of the story, you just might. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro was born in Madeira. Not Madrid, not Milan, Madeira. A tiny island on the edge of Europe, poor, isolated. Father died early, zero privilege, all grind. He wasn't born into elite academies like some. He wasn't media trained, he wasn't polished. He was raw, emotional, too real for the football world. From day one, the media labeled him arrogant, cocky, selfish. But they never asked why he was like that. When you come from nothing, you don't have the luxury of being polite. While Messi was the media darling, quiet, humble, pure, Ronaldo was the rebel, the kid who refused to follow the script. Football isn't just a game. It's a billion-dollar business. It's run by corporations, broadcasters, sponsors, and governing bodies. And they don't like variables. They like players who play along, who stay quiet, who smile and sell. Ronaldo, he didn't drink alcohol, didn't do scandals, didn't sell out. He promoted hard work, discipline, faith, and family. That single act wiped $4 billion off Coca-Cola's billion. You think they forgot? Let's talk facts. Lionel Messi is one of the greatest to ever do it, but his success has always aligned perfectly with what the system wants. In 2021, Messi won the Ballon d'Or despite less goals, fewer trophies, and poorer stats than Ronaldo or Lewandowski. In 2022, FIFA launched the Best Award separately, just to give Messi another moment. And let's be honest, when Argentina won the World Cup in Qatar, didn't it feel a little too perfect? Qatar 2022. The most controversial World Cup ever? Allegations of bribery, rigged bids, human rights abuses, and in the middle of it, Messi, PSG, and Infantino. Who owns PSG? Qatar. Who signed Messi in 2021? PSG. Who needed a redemption arc for football? FIFA and Qatar. They wrapped him in a Qatari robe. They made him the face of the most watched final in history. Ronaldo? Benched. Humiliated. Subbed off while Portugal crumbled. His last shot at glory, gone. But what if it wasn't a tactical choice? What if it was intentional? Let's clear something up right now. When you hear the word Illuminati, what comes to mind? Some secret society? Hooded figures? Crazy conspiracy theories? Forget all that. What we're talking about here is power, real power. Not the kind you vote for, not the kind you see on the news, but the kind that operates in silence, the kind that never shows its face, because it doesn't have to. It owns the media, it owns the corporations, it funds the entertainment. And yes, It controls sports. Because sport, especially football, isn't just a game anymore. It's a global stage, a multi-billion-dollar marketing machine, a tool for influence, distraction, and control. Now ask yourself, in that world, does someone like Cristiano Ronaldo fit? No, not even close. Ronaldo stands for the opposite of what they promote. He's disciplined, he's clean, he doesn't drink, he doesn't party, he's never been caught in scandals. He doesn't sell vice, he doesn't glorify chaos. He talks about God, about sacrifice, about self-respect. That doesn't benefit the machine, that threatens it. And when you threaten the system fights back. Let's look at the patterns. The media never forgives him, no matter what he does. He scores a hat trick, he's selfish. He gives to charity, it's PR. He speaks his mind, he's arrogant. The truth is, he's never been allowed to win the way others have. Because when the machine wants to elevate someone, it does. You think Messi's fairy tale ending in Qatar just happened by magic? That the most controversial, scandal-ridden World Cup in history, hosted by the very nation that owned Messi's club at the time, just so happened to end with his perfect goodbye? It's not just football anymore. It's theater. And Ronaldo was never meant to be the lead actor. He was too raw, too defiant, too unpredictable. He didn't obey. He refused to be controlled. Look at what happened when he moved that Coca-Cola bottle in 2021. Just casually pushed it aside, told the world to drink water instead. That one move wiped billions off Coca-Cola's stock in a single day. That's not just a footballer, that's power. And Ronaldo was not just a bad, and Ronaldo was not just a done. And the people who actually hold power, they don't like competition. Since then, it's been war, benched, disrespected, removed from Manchester United. I am Manchester United, painted as a problem, a liability, a virus in the dressing room. And when he finally spoke out, when he exposed the toxic culture at United, the hypocrisy of managers and boardrooms, the media unleashed on him like wild dogs. They didn't just disagree, they tried to destroy him. Because speaking the truth is the ultimate threat to any controlled system. That's what this is about. This isn't about tactics. This isn't about age. This is about image, message, influence. They couldn't make Ronaldo kneel to them. Saving, the people have him. They are taxis in their lines. So they buried him under headlines. They couldn't turn him into a puppet. Priests of the relatives at Micking Herd. So they tried to turn him into a villain. But here's the irony. Even as they try to erase him, he remains the most followed human being alive. More than Messi, more than any actor, singer, or politician. And that's what scares them the most. Because despite all the attempts to sideline him, he still inspires. Even all the attempts to sideline him, because he's a monk spire. He still represents values they can't sell. He still reminds people that greatness doesn't come from being chosen. It comes from refusing to be controlled. So when you ask, why didn't Ronaldo ever win the World Cup? The better question might be, was he ever allowed to? There's a moment in every man's life. A monk was shown to state something saying, when you know the Easter way in notching a world where staying silent becomes more dangerous than speaking up. For Cristiano Ronaldo, that moment came in 2022. Even though these receiving and messages alive, in those that cloakring as a deed, the media had been circling for months. To areas that you need these disgustings of a follower relactive Sabrosia's astrodating programs and where they won a live job. The headlines weren't just negative, they were personal. They were compactively like them. They riskle a sussumation. They the moxachudia tea, they the brown dage, is a great manager's because his money if you're a large. His commitment was questioned. Ronaldo sat down, stared into the camera, and told the world what no footballer is supposed to say. The club betrayed me. There's no progress. Nothing has changed. They don't care about football. They care about business. These weren't emotional rants. These were facts. He called out the people behind the curtain, the ones no player ever names. He exposed how the club was rotting from the inside, how the same standards he once knew no longer existed, how the people running the game today weren't football men. They were marketers, brand builders, spin doctors. And the second those words left his mouth, the world shifted. The media didn't challenge what he said, they attacked him. Overnight, he went from legend to liability. They didn't say he's raising important questions. They said he's ruining his legacy. They didn't say he's calling out corporate decay in modern football. They said he's bitter, broken, irrelevant. And when Manchester United finally cut for everything, they erased him. Just like that. 20 years of blood, sweat, and silverware, wiped out like it never happened. And what's wild is that people still bought the narrative. Because when the system wants you gone, it moves fast. It owns the cameras, the headlines, the microphones. They didn't respond to the truth. They just drowned it out with noise. And here's the thing, Ronaldo wasn't the first to speak out, but he was the first to speak out without fear. No PR filters, no soft words, no sugarcoating, just truth, raw and sharp. And truth in this world is offensive. Because the modern game isn't built for truth tellers. It's built for silence, for smiling faces who play the part and sell the brand. And Ronaldo? He never played the part, he never fit in, he never obeyed. So the moment he broke the unspoken rule, never exposed the system, they did what they always do with dissidents. They buried him. They stopped talking about his goals, they ignored his fitness, they acted like he had nothing left to offer. Which, if we're being honest, was ridiculous. This is a man who just months earlier had scored 24 goals in one of the worst United teams in history. This is a man who came back at 36 and outperformed players a decade younger. This is a man who was still built different, mentally, physically, spiritually. But none of that mattered. Because after that interview, the goal wasn't to judge him, it was to destroy him, make an example out of him. The message was clear. This is what happens when you speak against the machine. And yet, he didn't break. They took his club. They tried to take his image. They tried to humiliate him on the global stage. But he stood tall. He packed his bags and walked, not to another European club that would use other. And while the media mocked that move, what they didn't realize was that Ronaldo was doing what they fear most, walking away from their world entirely. No begging, no apologies, no crawling back, just pure, unapologetic self-respect. He didn't need their approval. He never did. He played the game on his terms, and when the game turned on him, he spoke up. And that is something 99% of players will never have the courage to do, because most players are terrified to lose what Ronaldo already earned without them. He doesn't need their clubs. He doesn't need their trophies. He doesn't need their validation. Because when you've built a legacy that lives in the hearts of billions, you are free. And freedom is what the system fears most. He does a player who delivered in every league, every final, every moment, somehow never win the World Cup. Even in his prime, 2010, 2014, Portugal crumbled early. Was it bad luck or was someone pulling strings? Refereeing decisions, poor lineups, benching in crucial games? It all adds up. They couldn't stop him at club level, but the World Cup, that's FIFA's turf. In the end, Ronaldo paid the price for being unapologetically himself. He didn't play politics. He didn't fake humility. He didn't play the Illuminati's game. And for that, they made sure he never touched football's greatest prize. But maybe he doesn't need the World Cup. He inspired a generation. He redefined professionalism. He gave us moments we'll never forget. And in the eyes of billions, he's already the GOAT. The Illuminati can block trophies, but they can't block legacy. And Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy is untouchable. Let them rig the game. We still know who won.